Over the last years, numerous crises have posed new challenges for European democracies. Debt and austerity, refugee influxes, climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the Ukrainian war, with their consequent energy shortages and inflation rates, have exacerbated inequalities, social disruption, and perceptions of government incompetence or injustice. Political scientists believe that these unprecedented crises are closely related to the rise of grievance politics, a mode of politics that fuels citizens' grievances about real or perceived injustices and reinforces the emotions associated with them.
Grievance politics consist of rather specific emotional repertoires, which differ from those of more established party-based and representative politics. These repertoires include the incitement and exploitation of various emotions, for example, anger, fear, and resentment directed at outgroups and political elites. They also include blaming strategies and stories of collective victimhood.
Emotions are part of our identity as human beings and play an important role in our decisions and actions. But emotions can be a driving force for progress, well-being, and democracy, or a vector for polarization, conflict, and anti-democratic grievance.
Political grievances and citizens' effective engagement in politics put the resilience of European democracies to test, as phenomena like apathy, illiberalism, and radicalism undermine democratic norms and practices.
Grievance politics raises the question as to what kind of democracies will exist in 2050. And since grievance politics is replete of emotionality, Pledge, our project, emphasizes the diminishing of the emotional and affective drivers of illiberal democracies towards pro-democratic and republican outlooks.
Grievance politics is driven by people's frustrations, humiliation, and dissatisfaction. If policymakers ignore these feelings, they can lead to anti-democratic outcomes. But if policymakers address the emotions behind grievances, they can support democratic action.
Within this context, the Pledge project offers an alternative approach for understanding and analyzing the emotional economy of grievance politics, exploring the emotional mechanisms that transform citizens' grievances to pro-democratic political action.
Now, with a wide range of scientific methods, Pledge wants to better understand the emotional underpinnings of grievances and grievance politics and their implications for a democratic polity. We want to avoid pathologizing citizens' political emotions by acknowledging that emotions are part and parcel of any politics.
The hot emotionality of grievances is often seen as a challenge to liberal democracies, whose ideal of politics is deliberative and rule-based. In Pledge, we see citizens' grievances as signals of how social, political, and economic crises affect us, highlighting what matters to us and what troubles us.
We work to analyze how emotions flow and influence, how they are channeled and communicated by citizens, political parties, and institutions, and how they are projected into political decisions of major social importance.
Acknowledging the importance of emotions in addressing the challenges grievance politics pose for liberal democracies, Pledge will harness research findings and democratic design methods to develop democratic solutions for policymaking that resonates with citizens' emotional needs.
Democratic design is an emerging practice. It sits at the intersections of democratic theory and practice, and design research and strategy. The Pledge methodology is a three-phase approach to promoting democratic innovation and reinforcing the emotional mechanisms of social sharing. The process features democratic design thinking, designing democratic innovations, as well as testing and refinement through empirical studies.
In Pledge, democratic design means that our research is collaboratively designed and executed. Simply put, Pledge is an inclusive project that brings together academics, practitioners, and the public. Together, we co-create frameworks and interventions that address the emotional dynamics of grievance politics, ensuring everyone contributes to finding constructive solutions.
In collaboration with policymakers, civil society organizations, media professionals, and other stakeholders, the Pledge Consortium aspires to bring significant impact in fostering emotionally intelligent and responsive democratic governance.
Among others, election-centered democracies suffer from an integral and external accountability deficit, which have brought about an expectation gap between what democracies promise and what they actually deliver. And this is felt by citizens through a number of mostly negative emotions. The ensuing legitimation crisis can be possibly recovered through new rules of democracy that promote fairness, responsiveness, responsibility, and integrity.
Pledge wants to tackle the resentment and toxic emotions that currently dominate over our political landscapes. It grapples with the study of emotional mechanisms and will equip political psychology scholars with the tools they need to promote democratic resilience. The knowledge we will gain will go towards repairing social cohesion and countering polarization. We will find a way to transform unmet grievances and discontent into constructive actions, paving the way for a sustainable democratic future that engages us all.